Okay, so we're going to make a new page, and we use the left column under Pages and click Add New. Add. So Ray, you got to here, right?
Yep.
Okay. So this is for a new page, and you always want to give it a title. And the title we're talking about, WordPress automatically makes your title the H1. Two pages. I'm gonna name this. I'm gonna call this one Our Services. It's because I have multiple other pages. So I'm gonna name this one Our Services. You guys can name it, you know what we do or services, and then in the blank area here, the cursor there, we'll paste that generic text that I gave you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you both of you right here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it brought it in, and we have, this is standard paragraph format that we have right here. And this WYSIWYG gives us all sorts of tools. I mean, if you're used to working in a word processing, some of these might look familiar. What we have, obviously, your alignments for your text. You can change the alignment. Now, I'll tell you, a template usually has it pre-formatted. It brought it in all flush left, so if we didn't touch any of this, our pages would all be consistently looking the same. So this template brings it in flush left. But we might want to play with some of the text and make some of it centered. We can. You can bold, highlight if you want to pull out a section of just your paragraph, and you can bold it. And the template has it pre-formatted for the styling, and it'll bold it for you. And you can do your italics. You can also do, there's bulleted list and numbered list. We can do that as well. But the key thing that for this exercise is we're dealing with the hierarchy so that we can make sure that we set our pages up on how people are going to read it and how the search engines are going to go through it, so you're very consistent with how people navigate and read through the content. And that's where we deal with, it says paragraph here, the H1, H2. As I said, the title is always an H1, and Google doesn't like you to have more than H1. WordPress keeps the H1 in here even though we won't use it. There could be some situations you might want to use it. But pretty much we're going to use our top heading on the page as an H2. So basically we're going to select the words, our company offers many programs. Remember, this is just generic text. Mm-hmm. And we're going to go up and we're going to select an H2. Now, we brought this in as text. And I'll tell you, when you bring in some text from some editing programs, you're going to have to actually change a little bit of the formatting. I wanted you guys to run into this. It basically made all of the text an H2 tag. But to fix that, I'm going to have to put my cursor in front of the next paragraph. I'm going to have to bring it up and tab it down. And then I'm going to change that to a heading 3. And now it made everything else a heading 3, so I'm going to have to do the same thing. I'm going to bring this up and just re-tab it down. It's just a formatting that when you bring it into something else. And then I'm going to have to select, because I want all this to be a paragraph, because I made it H3. Change it to a paragraph. And I notice there's an extra space there. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are both on your page. Like, we've got our formatted text here. And I also, when you work on websites, I always bring the text in. I don't create the text here. Usually it's created. I copy and paste it and drop it in, and then you format it here. excuse me, a little frog in my throat. We're next to the where we had the formatting for our text. There's this little circle with a plus sign on it, and if you hover over it, it says insert content.
Mm-hmm.
So we have two choices: add media or add a contact form. We're going to add media. So click on the add media.
Okay.
Okay, I already have my images loaded here, but I'll go load something else. So we're going to click on the add media. This is actually your media file. They're all stored here. This is where you would find them. It's called your media library. And it's pretty easy, and you can upload single items or multiples if you want to. So we'll click on add new.
I'm sorry, Kara. How did you get to that page?
Okay, let me go back. There's a little circle with a plus sign next to the H2 tags.
Okay. Yeah.
And it says insert content, and it'll bring you to your media library. And you can look at you can look at images, you can look at just your documents. You shouldn't really have videos, but you could put some short videos up. Actually, this is a free site. If they can handle the bandwidth, you could, but they'd have to be very short videos, and some audio files. So we're going to hit the add new button, and it should bring you to your desktop. And if you open that folder, I'm gonna upload, and you can actually select all those if you want, and just click open, and it will load them all in, and just wait for them to load up. I'm bringing in different ones because they're the ones for your assignment. Let me know when you have them all uploaded.
Got them.
Okay. Now, I had you bulk bring some in just because I had them set, and I do that a lot, but sometimes I'm just bringing single items. Because I didn't bring in a single item, I don't want to place these right now. So I'm gonna cancel out of this window. They're uploaded, so I'm just going to cancel out of this window. We just basically imported everything we want on this page. Now we're going to put some images in here. I'm going to do the first image. We could do one. We could do one right next to our company. Let's put the cursor right next to the our company, next to the O, and then go back up to your to get to access your media library, to the insert the content.
Mm-hmm.
And which one is this? And you can grab one of those. I'm going to grab the one where the girl's sort of leaning over, and you click insert. If you grabbed a different image, that's okay. And it should be kind of big. What WordPress does, it stores an image at its original size. We'll go more into detail about images. We usually bring them in as large as you think you might ever use them. Because with images, Andrew probably knows this one really well, you can't upsize an image. You can always take an image and downsize it and keep quality better, and especially on the web, we can never, if you increase it, it gets so grainy, so blurry, so fuzzy. But you can always go smaller. So WordPress actually saves this image in multiple sizes for us. And what's really nice is if we stay consistent and trust WordPress, it'll keep our photos sort of consistent for us. So now we have this image here. If you put your, if we click on the image, if you click on it and then keep hovered over it, you'll get a little box above it. And what it's doing is it's giving your alignments. You can also click to remove it. You can add a caption, and it won't let you increase the size, but if we click on this little decrease, it'll make it the next size down, that which is a standard size that this template has it. And then I'm going to click flush right on this and the alignment, and it'll put the photo right there. And if you click your preview, you can kind of look and see what your page looks like. Maybe you want it flush left, you could go back and change it flush left, but it's going to position it in there and fill that whole space, but it won't go any taller than the words where we clicked and inserted it. So I want you to select, I don't know if you can see, there's a little quote in there. Just select the copy with a quote.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a thing called block quotes. So if you wanted to pull out quotes or emphasize, it'll keep it formatted. And actually, see the little quote? It's got the double quotes there, and if you hover over it, it says block quote. If you click on that, you'll see things change, and that will actually set a block quote. So if you had a quote or you wanted to pull out and emphasize a little piece of content or service, or you want to do a testimonial, you could use this to do that. Of course, we're using...
It made the whole area, all the paragraphs the same. Let me see if I...
Oh, maybe you need to...
Let me see if I after each one hit return and the forward delete. Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Kara, what about smart quotes? Because if I see a document that has not smart quotes, it makes me think, just one little thing will make me think, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't take their courses.
Wait, what do you mean?
You see the quote in front of the two quotes in there?
In where?
In the quoted text, the Aenean thing.
Yeah.
Aenean lead. You know how you see they're straight up and down?
Oh, well...
They're not curly quotes.
No.
Oh, they are there.
Yeah, I had to see I haven't seen the preview. So this quote puts a little block, and it actually puts the color. So this is just a way to emphasize some text on the page. I was just going to show that with you, but yeah, now I know what you mean. So yeah, each font has its own, and it depends on how they have it set up.
Okay.
So
it'll
that
bring it in as real
text. So you can use that. I just wanted to show you that as a
cool.
Yeah, as something to do. Wow, we're doing pretty good for time. I'm not. One thing I completely forgot is, I'm hovering over this little letter. It's paste as text. If I had, I'm going to try it. If I had paste in plain text, if I had clicked on that and then brought my text in, we wouldn't have the formatting issues we just had.
That's cool.
So I gotta see if I format this now. It's supposed to work. So that would be a 3. Yes. Okay. So now,
So in other words, copy from your document and whatever, and then use that
yes.
instead. It's
Yeah.
not like you're importing, but you're using that just to paste it in.
Yeah, I don't work in the free version of WordPress here very often. I use it more as a teaching tool, just because it's a free space to work in. And when you go see where I normally work, you're going to go, oh yeah, things are a little bit different. I get my content supplied, and I have my clients supply it as usually as a Word doc. Most people have Word, and so I always have to usually click this because I'll copy it because they always send it formatted, and then I won't have to deal with the editing stuff. It'll bring it all in as one paragraph, and then I can go, break out the headings and stuff.
So that button was the paste as text one?
Yep. So you just click it.
Okay.
And then anything I got that little window, and then everything will come in as generic text from there. And so you can also so if I view this page now, I've got 2 areas. I've got an H2 tag here, H3 here, another paragraph. Now there's another importance of another type of content that I started into. So this is a good flow, and I can bring in another photograph over here, especially if like you're doing a services page and you want to talk about everything that you do, this is how you can flow and bring out so people can skim the page and they're looking to see if, do they build websites? Do they do logo design? So, you can break out and have all your services on one page, and one thing is you could throw in some quotes, or this doesn't even I didn't even have to have quotes. This could just be something I wanted to pull out to emphasize that my company does, it's just, block quotes is just sort of a way to pull some stuff out. And it was just to show you how it's all pre-formatted, so you don't have to do that. And then another thing, just I'm going to show it to you, just in case you hit on something wrong. We have a visual, which is a visual editor, and then we have HTML. If we click on the HTML, you will just see the HTML code, and you'll also see the H2 tag is surrounded by your company name, and actually this is okay. And then the H3 tag is surrounding your text or the our goal, whatever. Sometimes it's good to know this. You need to go in and do it. And it's funny, it didn't do a closing tag here. Huh. I'm just going to gun it up. There's no closing tag. And sometimes you have to debug this, I don't know why it doesn't have a closing tag. I wonder what it's going to change now. Didn't change anything. But we'll talk about a little bit of this because you sometimes need to go in here, and if there's not some features or you need a certain line break, you can go in and you can learn a little HTML. I'll show you some resources to look things up. So this is the HTML code, but you'll be mostly working the visual, which is kind of, what you see is sort of what you get. But if you really want to see what the fonts look like, always click your preview, and that'll show, what the page looks like. And remember to click update to save it, or first time when you create it is going to be published. So how comfortable do you guys feel?
You can play around.
Yeah. So your homework is to do exactly this. The only thing I haven't given you is the text, but you're going to go over and just use generic text. I've given you a link to this. I use this blind text generator. You can actually have it say far, far away behind the word, if you want to, or standard lorem ipsum, which is just generic text. You can choose how many words or how many paragraphs, and just make some generic text here. I'm going to supply this link to you guys. I keep this in my right here in my menu because I'm always using it to show clients. You know, I don't want to put live text in if I don't have it, especially if I'm in the design stages because they start reading it. And just this way they can't read it. They go, oh yeah, it doesn't say anything. So yeah, don't focus on it. It's just there for flow, and and use it a lot, and just pull out some lorem ipsum to make a headline, just to separate your text, because we're just making a page for you guys to feel comfortable kind of setting it up. If you want to use real content, you can, and that is fine. But I'm going to again give you the same folder with, I think there's 3 or 4 images in there. Always save your work. Now, if you lose your page and you click on pages, every page that's related to that site will be in this list, and your most recent work will be probably on the top of the list. So, and then you just click it here to get back to the page to work it. And if you didn't save it, it might be in your draft folder. So I have a draft for services in here. So actually, if you're like, oh my gosh, if you clicked off, it'll automatically save a draft for you. So if you didn't quite get it to published, click on your draft and you can probably find it there.
Okay.
So